and thank you for joining us for this virtual celebration of long service to Queen's University. I want to begin by acknowledging that Queen's is situated on traditional Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee territory. We are grateful to be able to live, to learn, and to play on these lands. So yes, thank you again for joining us, and thank you for your years of service and dedication to Queen's. This is not the type of recognition that we would prefer to make of those years of service. Normally we have a celebration dinner and other enjoyable festivities, but both last year and this year, because of the pandemic, we've been unable to do that. We didn't want any more time to go by without acknowledging and celebrating your service to Queen's, hence this virtual event. We do plan to have an in-person celebration in the future, although at the moment we don't quite know what that will look like, and it does depend on how the public health landscape unfolds in the coming months. But please know that I look forward to getting together with all of you to toast your service to Queen's and to celebrate your important workplace milestones. This has been an extraordinarily difficult year, and I think it's important to recognize that you've all been working at Queen's for at least 25 years, and I'm quite certain that in those 25 years, you can't recall the year that's presented quite this many and quite this type of obstacle to normal business. I think Queen's has come through these 15 months of the pandemic very well, and that's very much due to the efforts of people like yourselves. So in addition to thanking you for your long service, I thank you for your outstanding service over the last year and a half. Amongst the achievements of the last year has been the emergence of a new strategic framework for Queen's. This was recently approved at the board, a statement of our mission, vision, values, and strategic goals. And I look forward to developing these in the coming months as we begin to outline a new direction for the university in the future. That was one achievement of the year. There have, of course, been many. One I can't resist taking note of also, though, is our recognition in the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings, where, as I'm sure everybody recalls, we placed first in North America and fifth in the world. Doing well in the rankings is always pleasing, certainly does no harm to our reputation. But what is particularly gratifying about those rankings is what they tell us about the quality of work that is already underway and has been underway at Queen's for many years that addresses the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN. I'm looking forward to working with everyone in the university to advancing that work in the coming years. We are, as it says in the vision statement, a university for the future. Our students, our graduates, they're all part of that, but so essentially are all of you. Now I would like to introduce our Associate Vice Principal, Human Resources, Steve Millan.
Thank you, Patrick. My sincere thanks to all of you celebrating a milestone service anniversary. To dedicate yourself to Queen's for so long is inspiring and becoming increasingly rare in today's workplaces. So my sincere congratulations. Certainly after working here for a considerable length of time, you have seen many, many changes over the course of your career. In that time, I have no doubt that you've been a mentor to many of your colleagues. You may be considered the rock or heart of your department. I hope you realize this is an important contribution, and I want to thank you for sharing your expertise and experience with your colleagues. Your milestone celebration pins are currently in production. You should be receiving them over the summer. I would much rather be giving them to you in person at this event. However, I do look forward to seeing you in person when we are able to get together to have a live celebration. Thank you again for your service and commitment to the university. I look forward to the day when we can celebrate your service milestone anniversary in person. So again, congratulations and thank you for your hard work and dedication in service to the university.
Thank you, Steve. Now I would like to introduce a special speech from one of our colleagues, Alison G Harrison, Associate Professor from the Department of Psychology and Clinical Director, Regional Assessment and Resource Center. Alison celebrated 30 years with Queen's in 2020 and has kindly agreed to offer a reflection for us.
Hi, I'm Allyson Harrison, and I've been at Queen's for over 30 years. And I'm sure that some of you may have seen me wandering around campus or on my bike. I came to Queen's as a graduate student in 1984, and I thought I'd only be in Kingston for a few years, and that certainly turned out not to be the case. I've spent my whole adult life here. My husband and I quickly discovered that Kingston was a lovely place to live, work, and raise a family. My friends are all envious when I say that I can walk to work in 10 minutes or ride my bike in 5 in the summer. And it's certainly an easy commute. One of the things I really appreciate about Queen's is the campus is such a warm, welcoming, and beautiful place to walk around. And it's easy to get from one area of campus to the other quickly. As someone who did an undergraduate degree at University of Toronto, where it could take you 15 to 20 minutes to get from one class to the other, I was amazed when I came here and discovered that really the most you usually had to do was 5 minutes, and that was if it was snowing. I've certainly always found Queen's to be a very inclusive and accommodating workplace. I was hired to work with the former student counseling service in 1990 when I was almost 6 months pregnant with twins. I don't think there are too many places that would voluntarily choose to hire you when you were about to have twins, but they not only did that, but they were very supportive afterwards. Over the 30 years that I've been here, many things have changed on campus. The old student counseling service, where I was first working, was located on the former Queen's Crescent, which is now Bader Lane. We then moved just down the road on Queen's Crescent to the St. Lawrence building, which of course also doesn't exist anymore as it was demolished. We moved down to Stewart Street after that. And since then, I've been at 2 other locations. So I feel like I've really seen the campus from various perspectives and know where most of the buildings are because I've had to walk by them all in my various incarnations in places I worked. I've remained working with the Student Affairs umbrella for over 30 years. The staff and management in the Student Affairs office have always treated me well. I've always felt like I was valued and that the people who worked there cared about me and what happened in my life. I think my favorite story is that I went to a professional development workshop in April of 1992, and the Student Counseling Service paid for me to attend this conference. When I ran into the administrative assistant from Student Affairs later that summer, I let her know that I was pregnant, and she said, well, we guessed as much. Because silly me, naively, I hadn't realized that when I turned in my receipts, one of them was for groceries I'd bought at a grocery store. And while I'd only circled the items that I was claiming, it never occurred to me they would look at the other items there, including a pregnancy test kit. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting that they care enough about me that they not only read that, but they remembered it and were happy for me. I've always enjoyed working at Queen's University and having the opportunity to be around students. I think it keeps all of us in touch with what's important in the lives of those who are younger than us. Working at the university has also kept me current in understanding the changing information technology demands and applications that we need in our day-to-day lives. This is training and education that I know most other people don't routinely get when they're working outside of the university. And I appreciate the opportunities I've had to expand my skills in many areas of learning. Thanks for allowing me the opportunity to be part of the Queen's community for over 30 years. It's been a blast.
Well, thank you very much, Alison, for that great speech. As we look back at 1995, for those who celebrated their 25-year milestone in 2020, a few memories here at Queen's. Agnes Benedictson was Chancellor, and Bill Leggett was the principal. Construction on the Biosciences Complex got underway and was completed in the following year. So congratulations to all those who recently celebrated their 25-year milestone. Fodi Alajoji, Peter Allen, Kristen Aronson, Richard Bathurst, Joanne Brett, Glenn Brown, Naylin Boo, Lake Danishmond, Scott Davey, Jacqueline Davies, Leandra Fabregat, Cynthia Fair, Harriet Felotta, Randall Flanagan, Michael Green, Edward Eliescu, Zong Chao Jia, Erin LeBlanc, Margaret Little, Nancy Martin. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Patrick. Continuing with the 25-year milestone celebrated in 2020, Robert McGraw, Lynn Mayer, Jan Manel, Christopher Moyes, Allison Murray, Richard Oko, Juliana Ramsey, Brenda Reed, Kenneth Reed, James Reynolds, Margot Rivera, Allison Rudder, Sanjay Sharma, Martin Tenhove, Asha Farah Gerarjan, Denise Webster, and Glenn Wilmot. Congratulations to you all.
Looking back further to 1990 for those who reached 30 years of service to Queen's in 2020, David Smith was our principal, and we were in the midst of a small construction boom with a new School of Policy Studies and a 5-story technology center, Walter Light Hall. So congratulations to all those who recently celebrated their 30-year milestone. Stephen Bagg, David Backhurst, Anne-Marie Bradley, Michael Broekhoven, Brenda Brower, Cynthia Butts, Michelle Chittenden, Sandra Donotta, Peter Donovan, Gerald Evans, Christopher Ferrell, Spring Forsberg, Alois Freundorfer, Vicky Gara, Allyson Harrison, Philip Hart, Elizabeth Hearn, Robin Holden, Thomas Hunter, Debbie Jardine, Joel Keenlyside, Kevin Kell, and Vladimir Kratky. Congratulations to you all.
And continuing with their 30-year milestone celebrated in 2020, Bernard Cooper, Eleanor McDonald, Maeve McClatchy, Alistair McLean, James McClellan, Kevin Moonhall, Kelly Orser, Bernard Palmer, Joyce Parks, Patrick Petkovich, Deborah Robertson, Lisa Rodriguez, Barbara Russell, Dean Ryder, Lauren Sharp, John Smythe, Marta Stradvinsky, Christine Simpnowich, Bruce Tufts, Ruku Wang, Paula Whitley, and David Yen. Congratulations to you all.
All the way back to 1985 for our Queen's employees who marked their 35-year milestone in 2020. A bit of Canadian history down memory lane. Brian Mulroney was Canadian Prime Minister. We had 3 Ontario premiers in a single year, and Margaret Atwood published The Handmaid's Tale. So congratulations to all those who recently celebrated their 35-year milestone. Robin Babcock, Karen Bone, Terence Burns, Gordon Crawley, Wendy Compson, Ricky Eves, Stephen Graham, Karen Joyce, Laurie Kilminster, Karen Klenke, David Lillicrap, Thomas Massey, Wade McMatchin, Sheila Mirsky, Mark Rosenberg, Anne Tobin, Leanne Tonge, Raymond Turcott, Wendy Walsh, and Pamela Young. Warmest congratulations.
Continuing with 40-year milestone celebrated in 2020. Elaine Bevins Caird, Roger Dealey, Juanita Denny, Leslie Flynn, Anne Newman, Ono Houston, Jennifer Reed, Catherine Smith, Carol Tennant, and Sean Tinlin. Congratulations to you all. Congratulating the 2020 milestone, 45 years. Looking back to 1975, when those who celebrated 45 years in 2020 began working at Queen's, former Governor General Daniel Roland Michener was then serving as Chancellor, Ronald Watts was Principal, and Bruce W. Trotter was our third student rector. In this year, Frederick Wellington Gibson and fellow history Professor Roger Graham co-edited Queen's University History, Volume 1. Congratulations to all those who celebrated their 45-year milestone in 2020. Lee Boudreau, Linda Cahill, Karen Donnelly, Julie French, Barbara Latimer, James McKinnon, John McCanns, and David Walker. Congratulations to you all, and thank you for your many years of service.
Finally, for our 2020 milestone celebrants, we have one Queen's professor who has been with our institution now for 50 years. He began in 1970 when John Beltram Sterling was Chancellor and John Deutsch was our principal. It's a remarkable length of time to call Queen's home. Congratulations on celebrating 50 years, Donald Akinson. Now we will move into our 2021 cohort. As we look back at 1996, for those who celebrate their 25-year milestone this year, a few memories from here at Queen's. It's a notable year in that the position of Dean of Women was ended after 80 years, and the position of University Advisor on Equity was established. It is also the year that Agnes Benedictson completed her final term as Chancellor. So congratulations to all those who recently celebrated their 25-year milestone this year. Stephen Brown, James Carson, Victoria Klassen, Patrick Costigan, Michael Cunningham, Tracy Elliott, Elizabeth Errington, Leanne Fingland, Laurie G., Linda Hageman, Darren Hayland, Jill Hodgson, Christine Huff, Duncan Hunter, Sheila Hutchison, Shauna Johnston, Tammy Kerr, and Andrew Leger. Congratulations, everybody.
And we have several more 25-year milestones to celebrate this year. Susan Lord, David McDonald, Lisa McNee, Elizabeth Miller Hollingsworth, Laura Murray, Elspeth Murray, Ram P. Murty, Lori Ross, Francois Rougette, Karen Rudy, Ruth Santamaria, Donato Santoremo, Leslie Seymour, Garth Smith, Tanvir Tauhid, Dongshen Tu, Michael Welker, and Sherry Wilson. Congratulations to you all.
For those who reached 30 years of service to Queen's in 2021, looking back on a bit of Canadian history from the year you came to Queen's, in 1991, British Columbia's Rita Johnson became the first woman premier in Canada. Bob Rae was our premier here in Ontario, and Canadian forces participated in the Persian Gulf War. Congratulations to all those who celebrate their 30-year milestone in 2021. Stephen Anderson, Yolande Chan, Francis Crawford, Maria Dixon, Kenneth Edwards, Devon Garvey, Steve Gillan, Mark Green, Peter Greer, Alan Head, Simon Hesp, Janet Hebert, Rhonda Hodgson, Margaret Hogan, Judith Irwin, David Lyon, Kimberly McCauley, Olivia Middleton, Frank Milne, Raoul Mohammed, Laird Monaghan, and Douglas Munoz. Congratulations, everyone.
Thanks, Patrick. Continuing with 30-year milestones being celebrated this year. Lawrence Pattison, Kelly Petrunka, Susan Phillips, John Pierce, Jane Reeves, Jane Rogers, Robert Ross, Julie Salverson, Wendy Schuler, Sandra Turcott, Stephen Vanner, Lucinda Walls, Stephen Young, and David Zelt. We congratulate all of you celebrating 30 years in 2021. For our milestone celebrants looking back to the year they began in 1986, Kelly McKinnon became first woman rector of Queen's. In Canadian history, federal MPs elect the Speaker of the House by secret ballot for the first time, electing John Allen Fraser. Canada receives a United Nations award for sheltering refugees, and dinosaur fossils were found in Nova Scotia. Congratulations to those celebrating 35 years at Queen's in 2021. Bradley Amell, Angela Ballastant, Rodney Burnt, Albrecht Burke, Reginald Byram, and Richard Chalkowski. Warmest congratulations to you all.
Congratulations to everyone who celebrate their 35-year milestone in 2021. Donald Connors, Mark Duttle, Christina Fowler, Anne Godluska, Linda Grant, Douglas Greenaway, Sherry Horton, Mark Jones, Ernst Carney, William Kimlicker, Elizabeth Lonbro, Susan MacDonald, Johanna Ing, Stephen Pang, Kenneth Pierce, Patricia Pepin, David Pecora, Lida Raptis, Elaine Saver, Gregor Smith, Joanne Surrett, Robert Tort, and Rena Eupetis. Congratulations, everyone.
As we look back at 1981, for those who celebrated their 40-year milestone this year, some notable moments in Canadian arts and literature. The distinguished Canadian novelist Robertson Davies, who attended Queen's in the 1930s, published his novel, The Rebel Angels. Mavis Gallant won the Governor General's Award for her book of short stories, Home Truths, and famed director David Cronenberg film Scanners was released. Hashiar Abdullah, Diane Connor, Paul Finn, Susie Grayling, Deborah Harrington, Catherine Jackson, Deborah Leahy, Elizabeth McDonald Pratt, Jennifer McIntyre, Michael O'Connor, Tammy O'Neill, Karen Spilchin, Terry Stover, Myron Zupchuk, and Sandra Vincent. Congratulations to you all. For our employees celebrating 45 years, looking back to 1976 at Queen's, the Grad Club was established by the Graduate Student Society in the red brick Victorian duplex at the corner of Union and Barrie. They originally shared the northern half of that building with the Department of Psychology. Morris Chakla served as our 4th student rector, and Kathleen Ryan established a foundation to provide for the preservation of the buildings in the medical quadrangle. Congratulations for 35 years of service for those celebrating this significant milestone in 2021. Lucy Lloyd Batson, Peter Skensved, and Lori Young. Congratulations and thank you for your many, many years of service to the university.
This concludes our broadcast to honor the long service of Queen's employees. So congratulations to everyone once again. Best wishes, and thank you very much for watching.